everyone, welcome to another episode of the QubicaAMF Tech Tip Podcast. This is the weekly podcast where we take you on a journey through the fascinating world of bowling technology and beyond. As always, I'm your host, Orly, and we have the great Charles. Charles, how you doing today?
Good, and how are you, Orly?
I am doing great, and as always, we love having Charles on the show. He's so full of knowledge, it's just overflowing out of his brain all the time. Charles, and for those who may have not heard you on the show before, which if they've listened, they have heard you because you're on quite a bit. Can you just let them know your title with QubicaAMF and what you do within that title?
Sure, I am a QubicaAMF Max Trainer. Again, my name is Charles Craig. I am the person that will come on site or possibly do a remote training with you after you make a new purchase for new software, new scoring, new items, and make sure that you and your staff are up to that expert level with them so you can provide that great time for your guests.
Perfect. Yeah. And it's greatly appreciated when you're in the center and being on the show too. So Charles, we're kind of, this one we covered, it's been a while, but we've covered this before, but I just kind of thought it'd be a good one to go over again. With summer here, people are hiring new staff, whether it's kids that maybe that are home for college, maybe just some teenagers that are looking for a summer job, or just maybe some adults. I mean, it's all over the board. But when you hire someone, you want to give them access to some stuff, and you just need to kind of put them in your system and give them a profile. So kind of wanted to cover that today.
Yeah, of course. And there's always a great time during the summer because you have people that are looking for, easy part-time jobs, or maybe you just want to bring someone back that was in the system a year ago from last summer, and you just want to make sure that they're, back active so they can log in and work.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to do through Conqueror. So what we would do is go to Setup, and then that first General tab that's in there, there's these two green boxes at the bottom. There's User Profile Setup, and then there's Staff Setup. So User Profile Setup is going to let us make different levels of access, and we tell it, like a duty manager can do these things, X, Y, and Z, and then, employee can do this, general manager, a technician, a night manager, however many different types of profiles you would want, you can have.
Gotcha.
And then what we would do is you go through, and there's several tabs at the top of the screen. There's operate, shifts, prices, technical management, and reservations. And you can scroll through and check and uncheck items that you would want them to have access to, or, uncheck things you don't want them to have access to. And then you can even use the levels button in there to assign delegation. Like a hourly employee can do all but this one item, but then the shift manager can approve them to do that one item afterwards, so you can assign levels to that, so different approvals are necessary for whatever they're trying to do. And then you go through and you build those, and you make sure you hit save afterwards, and then the next tab that's right next to it is Staff Setup. This is where you would actually go in and put in the person's name and set up their password, if you have it, their fingerprint, or even if you use the FBT system in the past, you can set up a user account with a card swipe to log in. And you would tell it what level of access they have permission to. And then as soon as you hit save, they're able to use that login information to log into Conqueror and do whatever that profile that you gave them permission to use is going to let them do.
Perfect.
So really easy making the new user. You just go in, you click new. It'll ask them for a username, a full name, a display name, so what will the system show their name as, and then it'll give you a drop down showing you all those different profiles that you can give them access to. That general manager, tech, duty manager, whatever you called them and created them. The really nice part about this system is that if we gave them let's say a summer employee permission level right now, at the end of the summer, they're going back to college or doing whatever else they're doing, and maybe they're not going to be working with you again for a while, but you don't want to just delete them out of the system because they may come back next year.
Yeah.
All you need to do is just remove that level of access and then save it. And then that will restrict it. They can't log in. Someone else couldn't use their account to log in. They're kind of in a pause until you give them that level of permission back.
Yeah, that totally makes sense because I had, I used to have some staff that would work for me in the summer, and then they were off to college during, but they would always come back home because their family was here, and yeah, they would come back and, hey, can we work again this summer? Yeah, so yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It's also really good for situations that aren't any of our favorites, but we have to deal with them. If you ever have to possibly terminate an employee, this is where you can remove that level of access all the way off their account, but keep their account present so you can go back in and view their time tracking or view what they've done in the system, but you're restricting access just for any sort of, clarity. It's really robust. It's really great. This is also where you would go in and make this person so they'll have access to the time clock in Conqueror. It's pretty straightforward, but it'll give you everything that you need to do to get people signed in, give them the permission level you want, and then allow them to be able to use the program with those guardrails on.
Gotcha. Yeah, and here's a little tip from me I'll give. When signing someone in or, when getting a new employee, tell them, please put a password that you will remember.
Oh, yeah. The forgotten password thing is always the first, half an hour of your shift, especially if it's a new employee. They want to clock in and no one remembers their password. And in that case, the fingerprint reader, it is your best friend, because unless it's a mechanic that's got oily fingers, everyone else is great because they won't have to worry about that password anymore.
Exactly. Well, Charles, I appreciate you coming on today as always.
Yeah, of course. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me back.
And everyone else out there, thanks for listening to the QubicaAMF Tech Tip Podcast. We're here each week to support centers like yours with expert advice and the latest in bowling innovation. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and be sure to share this podcast with your team, coworkers, or anyone who could benefit. Until next time, we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.